Need your prayers this morning. I feel awful weak.
Yes, you are.
Hope that you will pray that the Spirit will stir us up this morning.
Yeah.
Amen.
Need it.
Bless the Lord.
Whether it's through me or through one of these others, it don't really matter to me. That stuff don't matter to me. I just like to feed from the Master's table.
Some crumbs.
And I know that it is in our weakness that the Spirit can strengthen us. I'm thankful that God can bring light out of darkness.
He is one.
And I can read a little scripture way back in the book of Isaiah, and it says, "The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. And they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death and darkness, upon them hath the light shined."
Yep.
And you think about that, and that's talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
It's talking about before salvation had come. They were in darkness.
Amen. Yes, absolutely.
And ain't it wonderful that the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light?
Yeah.
And upon them hath the light shined. What was it that Jesus said to them? He was trying to get them to understand. They were very confused about what was coming to pass. They had lived under a law for so long.
Yeah.
A law of condemnation.
Amen. That's right. Things they had to keep.
And he was trying to explain to them that while I'm here, I am the light of the world.
Yeah.
While he walked
Yeah.
on this earth.
That's right.
Because he was from his Father.
Yeah.
And he says, but there's going to come a time when after I go away, that you will be the light of the
Amen.
world. That's that light that Isaiah was prophesying about a long time before Jesus had ever come. Aren't you glad this morning, listen, that no matter what trouble we get in, no matter how far away in the darkness we walk, that we can look up and remember that light
Yeah.
that shines down now inside the hearts of his children.
That's right.
Listen, you know what? I hate to see my wife in tears. Listen, I hate to see her hurting. I know that, listen, that we've been waiting for this. Listen, I hate to feel helpless. Listen, but I know where my strength comes from. Listen, I know when darkness sets in around me. Listen, that I can look up on a hill and see that light. Listen, and that light, it guides my path through the troubled waters. Listen, it guides my path when the world sets in around me. Listen, we're just walking in a land of constant sorrow. We're walking in a land of heartache and hardships. Whether it's with losing the people we love, losing, listen, loved ones and friends. Whether it's getting sick, listen, or losing a job. I'm living in a land of constant sorrow.
That's right.
But just like Isaiah was talking about a long time ago, they that dwell in a land of darkness, a light has shined upon them. that light came riding down a hill a long time ago. I'm not full of an ass. Listen, that light came down out of this low ground of sorrow and let him march him up a hill, knowing what was coming for him. But he was looking 2,000 years ahead. Listen, to a lost and dying world that knew that we needed that light. Listen, you know what? Jesus was trying so hard to get them to understand the change that was going to come. Listen, they didn't comprehend what was going on. And I love this little scripture when he was talking to him and he said, you can see a cloud out of the west and straightway you say, there's rain coming. And he said, you see the south winds begin to blow, and you see drought coming. He says, you hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but you can't look around and understand what's happening. I couldn't understand that he was uprooting what they had been taught since the day they were born about that grace covenant, that light that was getting ready to come and shed light on that darkness that was the law. Oh, people, don't you understand? Listen, then when I was lost, when I came to the age of accountability, I stepped out in darkness, when the scales fell off my eyes, and I realized what I was cast in darkness. Listen, today, you know what? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Listen, and it says, in Him was life, and the life was the light of men. People today, aren't you glad that we've got a comforter? Listen, when sickness comes, listen, you know what? I've been awful fortunate in my life. I haven't lost too many. That's been super close. But listen, I know it's probably just around the corner. It's probably just a few days away. Oh man, born of woman are but a few days and full of sorrow. I'm not silly enough to think that it ain't coming for me. It might come for one of my children. I don't know, but I do know where my help comes from. I have learned a few things over the years, and that it is I don't have to face heartache alone anymore. I've got that line down inside of me. Listen, that lights my next step, that lights every step that I take. If I'll just be obedient.
The order to the Lord.
If I can just get myself out of the way and be obedient to Him, I know He'll guide me home.
Amen.
And I know that it's so hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes to understand. But I'm awful glad that I have that comforter.
That's right.
And you know, from the time that I knew my Aunt Spicy, when I came into her life, She's always been very old and very feeble.
Yeah.
Arthritis. Her arthritis had eaten her up and had bowed her down.
Yeah.
And got her to where she couldn't even raise her arms up past her chest. Couldn't reach up and get things off the shelf. And I remember right as I come in and married into that little family, my wife's family, it wasn't long that she lost her husband, Herman.
Yeah.
And I remember going into that little home there
Yeah.
where he lay dying back in the back room there, and I didn't know the man. Listen, but I knew that he was beloved by that little family and by Aunt Spicy. I remember, listen, I remember him holding prayer in there. Listen, and I remember thinking, Lord God bless her. Listen, and you know what? It wasn't too much. Listen, just a few short years, it seems like later, that maybe, listen, when she closed her eyes in death here, that she got to go and see him again. Listen, that is the comforter that I'm talking about. Then one day, listen, I hope that I get to see her, and I'm going to see her not bowed over. I'm not going to see her in pain or hurting anymore. I'm going to see her, listen, with the way that my Lord sees his children. When he looks down, he don't see the awful sinful flesh that I know I carry around, but he sees his son, the light of the world.
That's it.
You don't see. You don't see that lost 18-year-old boy that was bowed down in a basement room.
That's right.
Up in Attica, but listen, he sees the one that he sent down here. Listen, to carry my burden, to carry my pain, to take my sin up and nail it to an old rugged cross. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for that. Dad, I wish you'd come and preach a little bit.
Satisfy your mind. Sure, satisfy your heart.
I love getting to come up here and work on this little church. I know it doesn't seem like much, probably to the world, but it's our home.
Amen.
Home.
It's special.
Special to me.
Yeah.
I love coming up here and working on it. You know, when Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, he was teaching on a Sabbath day. There was a purpose for every step that Jesus took on this world. While he was here, I believe that. I don't think anything was by coincidence or chance.
No.
Every step he took was planned out. And he was teaching in one of the synagogues, and there was a woman that had a spirit of infirmity for a long time. It says she was bowed together. She was bowed over. She couldn't even lift herself up. I've read that so many times. And this morning when I opened my Bible, I read that. That little scripture, and it made me think about Aunt Spicy. It did. It's funny how God can move and stir things up.
That's right.
And it says when Jesus saw her, he called her to him. He's seen her. He was teaching. You need to understand the setting here. He was teaching in the temple. He was teaching in the synagogue, where all the rulers and the Pharisees of the law, all his enemies, those that were conspiring to kill him. He was teaching there in front of them, and he was teaching them what was coming. The change from the old covenant to the grace covenant. And he saw this woman, no doubt he had compassion on her.
Yeah.
And he called her to him and said, "Woman, thou art loosed from thine infirmity." And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she stood up straight.
Amen.
Yeah.
And glorified God. Ain't that wonderful?
She knew where he came from.
She did.
She knew where her help
That's right.
come from.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No doubt the rulers of that temple, no doubt, have been ashamed that she would even show up there amongst them. You think about that. No doubt those rulers thought it was an awful burden that she would even come in her condition. Listen, but she knew where her help was coming from. Listen, and when Jesus saw her, no doubt he moved. Listen, just like that woman that touched him. It was different because virtue left him. It was different because she didn't ask, listen, to be healed. But Jesus called to her and said, "Woman, be loosened from thine infirmity." And he uprooted what all the Pharisees and the rulers held to be law, held to be truth, because one stood up and said it's unlawful for you to heal on the Sabbath day. And Jesus shamed him and said, "Thou fool, listen, do you not unloosen your oxen from the burden of their yoke and lead them to water on the Sunday? But I've just unloosened the burden from this woman."
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Set her free.
And it shamed him, and he sat down quiet.
I can imagine.
And it says all his adversaries were ashamed.
Yes.
You think about that.
Yeah.
And the people rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. Sounds like they started maybe to see things a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question some things. Do you remember when you were lost and in darkness? I remember when I started, listen, when I started taking a little bit of heed to what I was hearing. Listen, because it was that fear that led me to try to step out and pray. It was that fear of knowing that I'm on the outside looking in that caused me maybe to try and speak to the Lord. I didn't even know how to pray, but listen, I didn't have anything to lose. I tried it all. Listen, I tried everything to get rid of that burden, but the one thing that Mom and Dad and Mama and Papa have been talking about for years. And when I finally spoke up and said, "Lord, I don't even know how to talk to you, but something's wrong down inside of me. Listen, I don't know how to talk to you, but I need you. Listen." And he called me, just like he called that woman.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
When mercy stepped in and the law moved out.
Thank you, Lord.
I'm going to get out of the way. Dad, you come speak a few words.
Been good, son.
I love you.